does it smell? So this video is not a makeup video, let me warn you guys right now. So if you're not interested in seeing something non-makeup related, you might want to not watch. This is about a product, and I'm not being paid to do this video. Let me just get to the point on that. But this is my business, so I am, in a sense, promoting myself with my permission, if that makes sense. Anyways, what I'm talking about is Scentsy. So if you follow me on Twitter or you are on my Facebook, then I'm always Scentsy, Scentsy, Scentsy. Everything's like every couple of days I'm like pushing Scentsy. What Scentsy is a wickless candle system. So if you don't know what wickless is, basically there's no open flame. That's the easiest way to put it. The Scentsy is run off of a bulb. So this is a bulb for a plug-in warmer. So the plug-in warmer goes, the bottom just screws right into here. Plug it in, light comes out of these little holes, which is cool for a night light. You can put it in a bathroom or a kid's room. And the wax goes in here. You plug it on, you plug it in, turn it on, and the bulb gets hot, melts the wax. Pretty simple. The good thing about this is that the wax does not get hotter than body temperature. So if you got little ones running around, dogs, they bump into it, wax gets splattered. Worst problem you're going to have is you're going to be having to get wax out of your carpet, which I can also tell you how to do. So if you have questions about that, let me know. But they're not going to get burned, which is a big thing. You can actually take your finger and touch the wax and you're not going to get burned. So that's really important, especially if you got little ones running around. And then you don't have an open flame to cause a fire. So that's another huge safety thing, especially, again, if you care about your house, even if you don't have kids or anything else, nobody wants their house to burn down. So this is a really good way to just avoid that in general. Another thing that's really, really good about these is that I use them in my kids' rooms. So I would never, I mean, my kids are older, but I would never put candles in their rooms ever, because that's just crazy that you're just asking for somebody to get burned, you're asking for somebody to, you know, something for it to get knocked over, start a fire, whatever. I'm not saying, you know, if you have candles in your kids' rooms and you're okay with that, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but for me personally, no way, absolutely not. But I want their rooms to smell good, especially my older one with, you know, football stuff and socks, gym clothes, everything. There's no way that I want that smell to stay in the room. So I put one of the warmers, not this one, he has actually a football warmer. I put that in there, we can leave it on, and the room smells great. So how Scentsy actually works is, like I showed you the light bulb heats up the warmer, then the wax melts. This is a full-size warmer. This is, I think, Lotus. I'll have to check on that. And there's the bulb. Here's the plug. This is how you would turn it off and on, little switch. And the wax goes in here. So obviously this is hardened wax. Another really good thing about these is that if you've ever been into like the Glade plug-in or Febreze plug-in or whatever craze like I was, then you know those things get so expensive. So you're like $4 or $5 a pop. I usually try to get coupons online or whatever to take some of the cost off, but either way, you're looking $4 or $5 and maybe a couple months of fragrance, but they never last as strong, you know, at the end as they start in the beginning. The good thing about these is you don't have to replace them unless you break one, which they are glass. Unless you break one, you have them forever. And they're an addition to your decor. I always hated the way that my plugins looked. I would always like try to hide them behind a couch or whatever, because it's just this random thing sticking outside of the wall, and it was never cute to look at. But these are decorations. You can set them on a dresser, you can set them wherever. I have these all over the house. I have them in the bathroom, laundry room, wherever, especially for small spaces. I don't recommend them for large spaces only because they are smaller and you do have less wax. You're not going to get the full effect as you would of a big one. But I use them in conjunction with my big ones. So I have big ones, you know, on my coffee table, everywhere. And then I have a few of the smaller ones, you know, around, and then, like I said, bathrooms, smaller spaces, or spaces that you don't want a big plug-in, you know, and you only, like bathroom cabinet, I have a small cabinet, so I put one there. So, that's that. You can buy the Scentsy bricks or bars. So this is Scentsy bar. This is Perfectly Pomegranate, which is such a good scent. And And they come in, this one's already messed up because I've used it, but this is what happens when you're lazy and you don't want to melt the wax and you just pop it out with a knife, which is what I did here. This was in the bottom of one of these. So you can actually just like shimmy this loose and then pop it right out because this is reusable. So in addition to not having to replace your plug-in warmers all the time, you don't have to replace your fragrance all the time. So you can use these until they don't smell good. You don't feel like your scent is just as powerful as it was, you know, the 3 uses before. I use mine on average like 3 times, and then usually they get pushed to the back, and I choose a different set of scents to go with, but I know you can probably use them more. But for $5, you can, you know, this goes a long way because each warmer only takes 1 of these, unless you want, I don't know. I guess you could do more if you really wanted. I used 1 and then I use a half of 1 for the little plug-in warmers. But so like I said, you can just pop the wax out and then stick it right back in here. What you're supposed to do, what they recommend you do, is just melt the wax, just get it warm liquid, pour it right back in here. And like I said earlier, because it doesn't get hot, it will not burn or melt this. So you just pour it right back in and it goes solid just like how this is. So these have all been used, but they go right back in here solid. So this is what an unused one looks like. This is my favorite. This is Camu Camu. And this is what I have in my car and in my closet and in my pocket. Now I have a travel tin of this and everything. It smells so good. It's like the best tropical scent ever. But this is what they look like I said, without one being used. You just shimmy these loose. You can see right there it's cracking. Pop one out, and then stick it in your warmer. Plug it in, and in a few minutes you're good. One of my favorite things about these that I found is that, and not just because I sell them, because I was a Scentsy customer way before I became a Scentsy consultant. So is that anytime that somebody unexpectedly shows up at your house, I'm always like, the first thing I'm like, does my house smell? Like, you know, and now that we're moved, it's not as bad, but where we used to live, we had a lot of friends that would stop by, family, whatever. And I was always like, does my house smell, can you smell dinner from last night? Whatever. Is it musty? I haven't had the windows open all day. Anything like that. With these, you can plug it, turn it on before you leave the house. And when you come home, your house is going to smell good. So if you just want to walk into like a sweet smelling house because your home is your like retreat, then this is good for you. If you are somebody who has like friends, kids' friends, even for parents who have like middle schoolers or elementary kids where kids are always coming by, you always know that if their parents stop by to check on them or they stop by, your house is going to smell good because you don't have to light a candle. You can leave these on all the time. And you only actually need to turn them on for a little bit. I actually turn mine on for like 2 hours at a time and then turn them off. And then I change my scents once a week. So the reason I do that is because I have a lot of them and I love so many of them. You don't have to change them ever. I know some people who've only had one scent and they use that same scent. But I change them once a week because there are so many and there's like a variety. I go through like where I want my house to smell like food and then I want it to smell like, real clean, like laundry softener smells, stuff like that, like fresh soap smells. And then I want it to be tropically, and then I want it to be like, holiday, like cranberry, apple, cinnamon, stuff like that. So when you're ready to change the scent, you just melt this. Like I said, pour it in here or do the lazy melt thing and just pop it out with a knife and break it. And then wipe it with a paper towel, put a new scent, and you're good to go. So your house can always smell like, I don't know, a paradise for your nose. I don't know. There's always tons of different ways to make your house smell good and tons of different options. I think there's like 118 scents, something like that. But, so this is what Scentsy is. So next time you see me tweet about it, it's not a sponsored tweet. I'm not getting paid to tweet. This is just me, my business, trying to promote my business. So if you have questions about Scentsy, leave them in the comments. I will put the link to where to buy. And like I said, everything comes from Scentsy. It doesn't come from me, so you'll buy it from my website. It'll be shipped from them, so you don't have to worry about me getting a product to you or anything like that. And if you love Scentsy, do Scentsy if you're a consultant, let me know, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.